In the buzzing heart of 1973 New York City, where yellow cabs honked, newspapers flew from stands, and payphones lined every block, a man named Martin Cooper stood at the edge of a sidewalk with a strange, blocky device in his hand, rectangular, beige, with an antenna like a toy sword, and buttons that looked like they belonged on a calculator. Passers-by slowed their steps, confused, curious, suspicious. Martin was calm, his brow tight with excitement and nerves. He lifted the device to his ear. Silence. Then, the hum of life across a new wire, wireless. "Joel," he said into the handset, calling his rival at Bell Labs. "I'm calling you from a real, handheld mobile phone. A personal one. Guess where I am? Walking on the street." There was a pause, then disbelief, then history was made. But behind that historic call was a storm of ambition, rivalry, and sleepless nights at Motorola's lab, where Martin, an engineer with a vision, had fought against the impossible. Everyone believed phones had to be big, stationary, connected to cars at best. But Martin dreamed of freedom, of calling anyone, anywhere, without being tied to a wall or dashboard. He and his small team had worked for months in secret, soldering wires, burning circuits, testing batteries that died in minutes. They'd argued, failed, restarted. The first prototype, the Dynatac, was enormous, weighing nearly 2.5 pounds, with a talk time of just 30 minutes and a 10-hour charge time, but it was real. In that lab, under flickering fluorescent lights, he'd once stood holding the early model, hearing static and broken beeps, until one night, click, the voice of his colleague came through, clear as glass. They cheered, danced, laughed like children inventing magic. But Martin knew it wasn't just about science, it was war. The telephone giants wanted control. Bell Labs was building a car phone monopoly. Martin wanted to beat them to the punch, to give power to the people. That first public call wasn't just a demonstration, it was a message. The world had changed. After that day, the media exploded. "A phone you can walk with," headlines said. People didn't know whether to laugh or be amazed. Some mocked it, "It's too big, too heavy, too expensive." But others saw the future. In the months that followed, Martin traveled across the country, giving talks, holding that brick-like phone up to audiences who gasped, pointed, whispered. Children stared. Politicians rolled their eyes. But tech visionaries nodded slowly. This, one said, could change cities, yet the road ahead wasn't easy. The FCC debated if mobile networks were even legal. Funding dried up. Battery issues caused delays. People dropped the heavy phones and broke them. The dream threatened to collapse. But Martin didn't stop. In hotel rooms and hangars, he kept refining it, shaving off grams, strengthening signals, proving again and again that mobile freedom was not only possible, it was necessary. 10 years later, in 1983, the first commercial mobile phone hit the market, the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, selling for nearly $4,000, available only to the rich and powerful. Stockbrokers in suits lined up. Hollywood stars posed with them. The world scoffed, but slowly, mobile phones moved from a luxury to a symbol of modern life. Then came smaller models, longer batteries, and global networks. From businessmen to farmers, from city towers to desert paths, everyone began to connect. But few remembered that it began with a man on a sidewalk, calling his rival not from a booth or a car, but with a dream in his hand. Martin, now older, would later say, "We weren't just inventing a phone, we were setting people free." And indeed, that one call on a spring morning cracked open a future no one could fully imagine, of smartphones, video calls, internet in your pocket, lives lived in apps and screens. The story of the first mobile phone isn't just about technology, it's about belief. Belief that a voice could travel through air, that conversations didn't need cords, that the human need to speak and be heard could leap past wires, towers, even time. Somewhere in a museum today, that old, grey Dynatac sits behind glass, silent, clunky, still. But if you press your hand to the glass and close your eyes, maybe you can hear it, the echo of a call that changed everything.